The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
And we've got more MCW Pro Wrestling exclusive social media content for you tonight. And it doesn't get any bigger than one of these competitors here in this match. Adam, we've got the Bruiser in MCW social media action. But first, his opponent, representing Andy Weinberg's group of gentlemen. This is Jeremiah.
Jeremiah is the man. So confident, it looks like he's coming out here without Andy Weinberg.
You know, I so watch this guy, and I watch some of the tactics of Weinberg's crew, and I want to dislike this guy, but I can't do it.
I'm really getting frustrated with some of these fans referring to this guy as Urkel. Urkel, how disrespectful.
Well, I don't know about him being Urkel, certainly a young up-and-coming lion here in MCW Pro Wrestling, but if there is ever a speed bump, let alone a wall in the middle of the road, it would be his opponent tonight. He is the former 6-time MCW Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. This is the man they call the Bruiser.
Yeah, the Bruiser's a great wrestler, but don't you think his time is up? Don't you think it's time he stepped aside and let some of our young lions, as you referenced, come up to the front?
Well, you can say what you want about Bruiser, but I have to say, after seeing this guy over the years, he is by far in the best shape of his life. And here he, not coming down the entranceway, the Bruiser coming through the crowd.
Typical fan pandering nonsense from the Bruiser. He's got to come in here and show off. He's the man. He's the 6-time champion. Well, some of us are here to see the new guys.
You could call him Mr. MCW Pro Wrestling, basically synonymous with the company. Bruiser coming to the ring, and I'll tell you, what a challenge for young Jeremiah. Sort of the sacrificial lamb, if you will, when Sean Studd decided to enact, I guess you could say, nearly a kidnapping on Ryo, who is the tag partner and good friend of Bruiser. Here we go. He's got himself a game of revenge here, because Jeremiah, representing Sean Studd and Andy Weinberg's crew, looks like he's going to be the first guy in the sights of Bruiser.
Any of you fans that might not know what Matt is referencing here, you can get MCW Rage TV for only $4.99, free for the first 30 days, to see what he's talking about, to see that he's falsely labeling Andy Weinberg and his followers as kidnappers and other such nonsense. They just use good psychology to get into the head of their opponents.
Not only can you see that, you can see former, older versions of the Shane Shamrock Cup, Memorial Cup, older versions of that, as well as other tour matches. Great stuff across the board. And here we go, Jeremiah taking it right to Bruiser before the bell rings. Got to use every bit of advantage that he can.
Of course he's going to. You're going to pander to these fans. You're going to come out here and be worried about coming through the crowd and standing on the ropes to get your applause. Of course you take advantage of that.
Big shoulder tackle and clotheslines coming in by Bruiser, and a drop kick by Bruiser. You don't see guys his size get up like that. Oh, rolling kick.
I gotta admit, that was impressive.
When you see a guy pushing 300 pounds of muscle hitting moves like this, it's just how this guy ups his game. He wasn't doing moves like that 10 years ago. Quick pass by, lariat, takes down Jeremiah.
Look, I'm not going to say the Bruiser isn't great. Of course, a 6-time MCW Pro Wrestling Champion is great. I'm just saying it's Jeremiah's time. But it would, I admit, Matt, it would be a major upset if Jeremiah were to pull this off.
Well, Jeremiah is certainly a talented individual. As I said, one of the young lions here of MCW Pro Wrestling. But as I said, he drew the short straw from the Weinberg team as he's facing Bruiser. And, catches a right hand by Bruiser. Bruiser shushing the crowd. Clubbering forearm, thunderously hitting the back of Jeremiah. Jeremiah looking around, wishing Sean Studd or Andy Weinberg was here with him, but no one is here to back him up.
Jeremiah told me before the show started that he has requested Weinberg to not come out because he wanted to prove he could do this on his own.
Well, if that's the truth, I give him all the credit in the world. there's no better way to get yourself a reputation here as a winner than a win over the Bruiser unassisted. Another thunderous forearm by the Bruiser. Look at the intensity on Mr. MCW.
He's an intense guy. He's a strong guy. He's one of the best wrestlers to ever come through here. But I really think that it's time, and this is going to flow throughout this card. It's time for some of these old heads to step aside. It just really is.
And when you consider all the people, oh, Sean Studd has come out. He is at the top of our entranceway.
It's always a good thing when wrestlers in the back watch the matches.
And right there, using the distraction, Jeremiah with that upper room, that's what he calls that flying high knee.
This going to be that upset I was talking about?
Lesser men have been pinned after that move, but this is no lesser man. This is the Bruiser. But it was the opening that Jeremiah needed. Basement dropkick takes him down. Nearly a 3 count, but Bruiser back to his feet already. Not where Jeremiah wants him. Big.
I just think it's admirable that Sean Studd's out here to watch this match. I mean, he's trying to learn. He's trying to scout his opponent. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, if he's here or lending moral support and he stays up there out of the way and out of the distraction, I'm fine with that. Because right now the blood is rushing to the head of Jeremiah. Nearly 10 seconds already in the suplex, pushing 15, nearly 20 seconds before hitting that canvas, knocking the wind out of him, and the Bruiser is back in charge.
But there he goes again, though, Matt. Look, I mean, just pander to these people. Just wants their approval. Can he just wrestle?
Well, he's not letting that become a distraction of him in the match, but he does now see that Sean Studd is there, and Sean Studd making his way to ringside now, coming down that ramp.
Bruiser called him. He motioned him. I saw him.
He did. That might have been a mistake. Neck breaker by Jeremiah.
There we go.
We could have an upset here. 1, 2, and 3. Oh!
Oh, come on.
Nearly 3.
Come on.
Jeremiah right there may have made his MCW career with that pinfall, but not yet.
That referee looks a little bit like Bruiser. They're probably related.
I don't know anything about that, but I do know that Jeremiah is looking for that elbow. Drops another one and is looking for a pin again. 1, 2, does not hook the leg.
This guy, what's with this rap? Both of those counts were 3 counts. This would be the biggest upset possibly in MCW Pro Wrestling history. And instead, we're cheated out of that.
I'll give a lot of credit to Jeremiah, seeing some intensity in his face, knowing what's on the line for him in this match. But Bruiser, the picture of intensity, starting to fight back, hearing the people chant his name, those clovering punches. And that big boot takes down Jeremiah, may have knocked a tooth or two out as well. But back the attention goes to Sean Studd.
Exactly, not going for the cover, too worried about the crowd, too worried about Sean Studd up on the stage.
And now Bruiser looking like he's going to send a message of his own to Sean Studd, putting Jeremiah on the top rope. But here comes Sean Studd again. Oh, Jeremiah uses that distraction. Could we see one of his patent maneuvers? His coup de grace, he calls that sanctification.
And that's it. We're going to see the upset, man.
We could have, here we go, 1, 2, and 3. Bruiser kicked out of sanctification, and Jeremiah is stunned.
I'm stunned. Nobody kicks out of that move, not even the mighty Bruiser, the 6-time former champion. I'm telling you, this rap is really getting on my nerves. I hope someone's super kicked.
Well, this time, somebody has kicked out of sanctification, but Jeremiah needs to take this opportunity to open up the door that he has started to push open. He needs to find a way to put the shoulders of Bruiser back on the mat, but Bruiser is getting back to his feet.
Here it comes.
And Bruiser catches him, picks him up, deadlift off the ground. Huge over the head, Bruiserplex, and Sean Studd looks stunned. And sets up for another one. In stereo now, we've got 2 of them. Could we see a third one? Here we go.
Jeremiah had this match multiple times.
Jeremiah turned inside out by Bruiser with those over-the-head suplexes. And now it looks only elementary. Here we go. The Bruiser mission, the Bruise mission put into place.
Let me tell you what, Matt. Jeremiah had that match won. He stepped up and told Weinberg to stay in the back. and it cost him. It was a bold thing for the kid to do. We almost saw the biggest upset in the history of this company. Maybe it was a mistake leaving a Weinberg in the back.
Well, Sean Studd, they're having words with Bruiser. You're seeing this exclusively here through MCW Pro Wrestling's social media presence. As I said, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and definitely catch us on MCW Rage TV. It's one of the best bargains there is today. But here we go. We might be giving you another bonus here. Bruiser's calling Sean Studd to the ring.
What's going to happen, Studd?
This might just get even the more exclusive in the social media presence here. Here we go, calling him on. But Sean Studd deciding instead he's going to make his way out of the ring here.
There's a match later tonight. He doesn't want to get in there and take all his energy. Bruiser's the only one crazy enough to do something like that. Come out here in front of these fans early and waste his time appealing to them so they all stand and cheer.
Well, as the Bruiser stands tall, we would love to thank you for joining us through this social media exclusive MCW Pro Wrestling event, MCWProWrestling.com. For Andy Lavelle, I am Matt Storm. Thank you again for joining us.